So, guys, today I want to talk about this news article about this woman from my hometown of Indianapolis that is currently going viral. This is all I'm seeing up and down my timeline. People are constantly posting about it and sharing this news article because people are outraged, as they should be. It is very disturbing. So I do want to share this with you guys because I'm not sure if you guys have seen this or not, but I definitely want to get into it. I want to read you guys the news article, and then after that, I kind of want to just discuss, my thoughts about it and give some commentary on the situation. So the news article says, according to the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, a 33-year-old woman is charged with neglect resulting in the death of a 2-year-old, Skylar Gardner. A probable cause affidavit revealed on January 25th, officers responded to a call placed by the woman who reported finding her daughter's unresponsive body underneath a dresser in their apartment. When officers arrived at the scene, the woman claimed she had been preparing dinner and had called for her children, her 4-year-old son and her 2-year-old daughter, to eat. While the son came, the girl did not respond. After searching the home, the woman told police she found her daughter cold to the touch and not breathing. In an attempt to save her daughter, she says she carried her daughter outside and called 911 while also contacting her boyfriend. Upon evaluating the apartment, officers conducted a protective sweep. They noted the presence of trash scattered throughout the living space, human feces on the walls and furniture, and a strong odor of rotting food in the air. Minutes later, emergency medical personnel arrived and pronounced the child deceased. The paramedics noticed that she was cold and rigor mortis had already set in. Upon examining her body, the medical personnel observed bruising and injuries on her face, arms, legs, back, and vagina. In addition, the IU Health Riley Children's Hospital Child Protection Team confirmed that the child had a large puncture wound to her neck. During the investigation, the mother and her boyfriend were transported to the IMPD Child Abuse Office. According to the affidavit, the boyfriend reportedly told police that the mother stays at his residency every night and the kids are not usually with her. He said they were at his residence once a week at most. When detectives spoke with the mother, she reportedly told the police that she leaves both of her children at home alone for multiple days or for multiple hours a day. And she said she would check on them once a day to bring them food and drink. She also told police that she last bathed the kids a week or 2 weeks ago. She said when she checks on the children, she sees feces on their hands and feet, and that her daughter's vagina was red and swollen because of her Pampers. Obviously, not being changed properly and sitting in soiled diapers for long periods of time. The mother allegedly said that she knew she neglected her daughter, but she did not physically harm her. She also admitted to spending 7 nights a week at her boyfriend's house while leaving the kids home alone unattended. So you guys can see what the outrage is about. First of all, when I initially read that, and even just reading it now, I feel a lot of mixed emotions. Of course, for one, I'm very sad, and it's very disheartening to hear about the passing of this 2-year-old little baby that could have been prevented. All because her mother wanted to lay up with some DICK. That's sad, and that also enrages me and makes me mad that she chose, to be with her boyfriend over, supervising her kids and being at home with her kids and attending to her children. That makes me upset. I feel sad at the fact that these kids only got food once a day, that these kids had to sit in shitty diapers and pissy diapers to the point where their private parts were swollen and red. I feel disgusted that these kids had to live in those type of conditions where there was feces all on the smeared on the walls and on the furniture. And even in one article I read that the detective said when they went in the house that there was so much trash on the floor that the floor wasn't even visible. I feel disgusted that they had to live in these deplorable conditions. I feel disgusted that these kids were not bathed. They were dirty. She said she cleaned them up a week or 2 weeks ago. Like, it's been so long she can't even remember. And I feel all these things. I'm mad. I'm sad. I'm disgusted. And I'm confused. Like, what I don't understand is, there's a lot of things that I don't understand. For one, if this man knew that you had children and he still wanted to be with you, that means he accepted you and your children, because a man knows that when you have children, it's a package deal. So therefore, if he accepted you knowing that you had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, why couldn't you just bring your babies with you? Or why couldn't you say, hey, I have the kids, you come be at my house? You see what I'm saying? And then you still could have been with him every night, but he could have been over your house. And I seen some people saying that on Facebook, and some people were saying, well, because her house was nasty, her house was dirty. Well, obviously, her house got like that because she checked out. She checked out of being a mother. She no longer wanted to be a mom. She didn't. And I can't say that that's, understandable. I mean, being a mother, you get your times where, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you sacrifice a lot, and you don't really get to live your own life. Like, I get that and everything, but I could at least respect it if she would have said, hey, I don't want to be a mother anymore. Like, I'm over this. I'm over the responsibility. And she could at least had enough love in her heart to make sure that her children were safe, to make sure that her children were supervised. There's plenty of places that she could have taken her children just to make sure that they weren't home alone and something like this happened. This could have been prevented. She could have took them. I believe you can take your kids to the Children's Bureau and just drop them off, and there's like no questions asked. She could have took them to the fire department, the police station, CPS, like, because it's clear that she didn't care about CPS taking her kids because she didn't want the kids. If she wanted the kids, she would have been a mother. She didn't want her kids. So, she should have just let her kids go into the system. That would have been better than being with her. She could have been thinking about how she would look if CPS took her kids. But my thing is, you'd have to tell people where your kids was. Because clearly you was lying to everybody all along. From what I'm hearing, she was lying to her mother. When her mother would ask, well, where the kids be when you be over there? She was lying to her mom about the kids' whereabouts. And we're going to get into the boyfriend, because a lot of people were coming down on him too. And a lot of people were saying that they feel that he needs to get charged with something as well, because they said, ain't no way, that she got a 2-year and a 4-year-old and she's at your house every night, and you're not wondering, like, where's the kids? They feel he had to know the kids were there alone. According to him, she lied. And this is what he said. His friend had texted him, and he responded to his friend through a text, and then his friend posted the text message. Because I don't think that he's allowed to speak right now, or make a statement or anything. And I feel like, oh, there's a lot of people online. There's a lot of people that are bashing him online, but there's also some people that I've seen too that are attesting to his character, saying, he's not that type of guy. Like, he was not the type of guy that would be with the woman who neglects her children or leaves her children alone, or he would have never went for that, knowing that the kids were alone. And I get that, and your friends are supposed to take up for you and have your back, and attest to your character and what type of person you are. But I've also learned that sometimes it's people that we don't think will do things like, she would never do that, and they're not that type of person, and you really don't know the type of person that someone is. Like, it'll be somebody that is a serial killer, and the whole time their neighbors, their co-workers, hell, even their partners are like, we never would have thought that they were that type of person. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt, because if it's your people, you supposed to stand up for them. But this is what the boyfriend has said to a friend through text, and the friend posted it. He said, excuse me, he said, I would have been responded about this situation, but the police has all my things on detective hold. First, I would never condone no abuse of children. Anyone knows me definitely knows that. Me and numerous people been lied to about the whereabouts of the kids. It was always said they was with a trusted family member or friend. So it wasn't ignored about the situation. It was never known. And it's receipts to prove that on my end. It's already bad enough to get blindsided with this shit. And I don't know if I'm supposed to cuss on YouTube, but I see some YouTubers, big YouTubers that be cussing, and I'm not monetized, so it don't matter. He said, then on top of that, I had to see them pictures of the baby that has literally effed me up. My condolences go out to the baby and everyone who has to deal with this. But me or anyone who's close to this situation had no knowledge of this. It's crazy to say she lied to us. She lied to all of us, from parents on down to me. This effed and hurts. I'm not gonna say it was mental issues, but I don't see how anyone can smile or go on with their day like something like that isn't happening. If anyone is trying to reach out, hopefully I'll have all my stuff back soon. I appreciate everyone who's standing in my corner at this difficult time. And last thing, if it was any foul play on my end, they wouldn't have let me out when they questioned me, idiots. So that's what the boyfriend has to say. I'm gonna say this. As of now, I'm not putting any blame on the boyfriend. I don't feel like the boyfriend should be charged with anything. I'm gonna just take his word for it that he didn't know that the girl lied to him, unless the police come out with any more details that prove that he did know, and he went along with it and he was okay with it. As of now, I'm gonna say that he was lied to and that he didn't know, and that he has no parts in it, and he shouldn't be blamed. What I will say is that he made a piss poor decision in the type of woman that he was with, because even if you thought the kids were with a trusted family member or friend, it's like every day. Why would your kids be with a family member or friend every day? So, I mean, you did know at the very least that she was a bad mom. You did know that at the very least that she was neglectful to the point of she never had her children. Not that she left her children alone, but that she pawned her children off on others to be with you. So I guess that was a red flag that he, overlooked. And that would have made me side eye somebody. Like, so you just never have your kids. You can come over here 7 days a week, all day. 7 days a week, and be over here. I don't know if she's over there all day, or whenever she, she probably works, or whenever she gets off work or whatever. It's just like, so you just never have your kids, except for that once a week that they said. Sometimes she have the kids over there to his house once a week, but it's like, so I will say in that, and we've all made bad decisions in partners in dating. I know I have, and people that I've chose to date, but though that was always like they were a way towards me. You know what I mean? Like, they treated me away. They were a bad partner, but they weren't like bad parents. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't play that when it comes to children. I'm not going to date someone that doesn't have a relationship with their child, never sees their child, never with their child. I'm just not going to do it. unless it was like you were in the middle of a custody battle, or for some reason the mother was being bitter, keeping you away from the kids, but you were actively trying to see your kids. Like, I seen you trying to fight and be in your kid's life. Like, that's different. You see what I'm saying? But other than that, like, no. So that should have definitely been a red flag for him, you know. But as for her, I don't feel like neglect is a good enough charge for that. I feel like she should be charged with her daughter's death. I mean, I know they can't charge her for murder technically if she didn't, you know, murder her, but I feel like, can she be charged with like involuntary manslaughter or something? Like something, it's got to be something heavier, a heavier crime that she can be charged with that's going to get her more time when she gets her sentence. Because I feel like, what I don't know what is the time for neglect, but I feel like it's not going to be long enough. So I hope that she can get more charges on her to where she could really sit down and do some time. Because I just don't feel like that's a heavy enough burden for her, you know, basically neglecting her child and causing her child's death because due to her neglect. And, you know, if she does only get charged with neglect, and let's say she gets 3 months, I hope that every second of every day of those 3 months, or however little time that she gets, I hope every second of every day she feels like her children felt when they were neglected. I hope that she feels mental anguish and, you know, torture and everything that, you know, her children felt and that they were going through. I hope she really goes through it. You know, I hope she really goes through it, because I almost don't even know, you know what I mean? Like, it's just sick. It's sick. It's really sick. You know, some people, they just really don't deserve to be parents. But you guys, yeah, I that was on my heart. I really wanted to come and share that with you guys and kind of talk about it. Let me know what you think down in your comments. Like, do you think that the boyfriend should get any type of blame, or do you say, you know, if he didn't know he was being lied to, it's not his fault and it's all the mother? What do you think that the mother's punishment should be? Do you feel like she's getting off too easy with just getting neglect charges, or, you know, what? It's just a sad case for this little girl who lost her life, 2 years old, you know, a baby. The brother was 4 years old. You know, I don't know how she got, the little girl got these bruises on her. You know, I don't know if it was from her fighting with her 4-year-old brother. I don't know if it was, you know, it's like, I don't know, did she pass, did the dresser fall on her? Like, what was the neck puncture? You know, it's so many unanswered questions that, you know, I guess the autopsy will reveal. But it's just a sad case. And, you know, this world is really crazy and messed up. But, you know, it's a really dark way to start 2025. I'll say that. But man, everybody, please stay safe. And let's just stay prayed up. And, you know, that's all I can say. Stay prayed up and stay safe. And if you got it on you, sometimes keep it on you. You know what I'm saying? Because this world's just, it's evil. It's crazy out here. All right, guys. Be blessed.